All right, now keep in mind, folks, at home we have Casey Smith on one side of the casino. He's seeing one thing. We have Kimberly Terry, who's on the other side of the casino, who's actually watching active firefighting efforts. The Las Vegas Strip in front of the Monte Carlo between Tropicana to Flamingo has been shut down. So if you are worried about friends, family, relatives who are working at those properties, you cannot get to this property, to the Las Vegas Strip. Please stay away from that area so firefighters will have all of the room they need to fight what has become a very aggressive fire.
You have a major evacuation effort underway, certainly in Kimberly Terry. Talk with some people who have been evacuated from this fire there at the Monte Carlo, and how exhaustive it's been for them to be able to get out of that hotel casino. And we're hoping certainly that everybody has been able to get out of that area that started at the top of the casino about an hour ago in the middle section there of what you're looking at right now. In the middle section, it certainly was small at the time and has done nothing but spread since then.
We now see what may appear to be water or some
there it
sort
is
of
from the left side there.
Exactly, and this is confirming what we've been told, that there are crews on the roof of the Monte Carlo now fighting this fire. Keep in mind, folks, these high-rise fires are the most dangerous fires fire crews can fight. To be on the roof itself fighting these flames, this is just one of the most incredible acts of bravery fire crews can be involved in. But they, of course, want to definitely do everything they can to save lives and keep this fire from becoming a deadly disaster. We've been, unfortunately, been reminded these pictures of the deadly MGM fire of 1980. You know, I'd forgotten what year it was. I think I've just wanted to forget the fire itself. 1980, when so many lives were lost. 5,000 people were in the hotel at the MGM, which is now Bally's, at the time of that fire, which started in the delicatessen area and spread upwards. Now, in this case, we've got a fire that started on the roof of the Monte Carlo. A much closer picture now. You can see that these flames have spread to what may be the upper floors of the upper rooms of the Monte Carlo.
Probably the suites up there. It's got 3,000 rooms up there, and you mentioned the MGM. 84 people died in that fire, most of them, and it was a flash fire right through the lower level of the casino. Many of the people up in the rooms above there were killed from the smoke and the flames. Of course, you mentioned the retrofitting. There's been a lot of changes to the infrastructure inside hotels, and also some of the stuff that's used to build these casinos, and some of the internal things that they've got that have saved lives certainly over the years. But now we are seeing another angle. This angle is from what direction? Is this just this is from the ground looking towards what direction? Can you tell me? It's hard to tell. Okay.
Mike Salinas just handed us a note. He's also monitoring our information from our newsroom. There are at least 2 crews with fire hoses on the roof of the Monte Carlo, putting either water or some sort of fire suppressant on these flames. These are now we finally have some pictures from the ground shooting up toward the upper floors. You can see the black plumes of smoke as the fire continues to spread and now beginning to consume the actual Monte Carlo marquee itself. The good news here that firefighters are on the roof, which of course is extremely dangerous for them, but the move they've got to take if they're going to bring this fire under control, which so far has been spreading very quickly.
This camera looks like it's probably across the street, maybe from the MGM Grand area, shooting across the street towards the main front area of the casino of the Monte Carlo.
We've done a lot of stories about the growth on the Las Vegas Strip and what's happening with City Center. Of course, MGM Mirage Corporation now owns the Monte Carlo Resort, but as far as you know, there hasn't been any new construction happening with the Monte Carlo.
Not at the Monte Carlo, only about, well, less than 12 years old, almost 12 years old. It will be this summer for the Monte Carlo. Certainly a relatively new property there on the Strip. The only construction happening is the area that we've shown you behind it, the massive $7 billion City Center project that is being built right there. And there is a lot of construction and a lot of certainly issues because of the construction that's happening all around that area. There have been fatalities certainly on that site where there have been people building that hotel casino property, the massive City Center project owned by the same company right there. They basically own everything. There's MGM Mirage
on the west side of the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah, the west side of Las Vegas, from Bellagio on down New York, in that area, and including what we are now seeing going up in flames there, the top section of it, the Monte Carlo Hotel and Casino.
Well, finally, these are the first live pictures we have seen within the past hour and 15 minutes where it appears that the smoke is beginning to subside somewhat. Moving still quickly toward the right side of your screen, but on the left side of your screen, it appears that the plumes of black smoke are beginning to decrease, and so that's the best first good news we've seen in this past hour and 50 minutes as we've been tracking this fire from the moments when the calls were first made that the flames had erupted. We don't know how this fire got started. We don't know yet if there are any injuries or fatalities. Kim Terry on the ground, though, says a massive evacuation effort is underway. She has talked to people who are having a little problem breathing from the massive thick smoke that was spreading. Mike Salinas has been monitoring the weather situation. The good news in this case today, thankfully, very calm winds here in the valley, helping firefighters get a quick upper hand on this blaze.
The parts of the strip have been shut off at this point now, a major section of the strip. Okay, we do have Bill Castle on the line. Let's go ahead and talk to, hello, Bill, can you hear us? Bill Castle from Metro on the line. Are you there, Bill?
We do have a report of a fire at the Monte Carlo Hotel and Casino on the Strip. We have units on the ground there assisting with evacuations and traffic control at this time. I do not have any information on specific street closures, but there are a lot of pieces of fire department equipment moving in and around the area. I would encourage all of your viewers to please avoid that area, make room for emergency personnel and emergency crews so they can get in and get this problem handled.
Bill Cassell from the Metropolitan Police Department, again, putting out the word, folks, that we are also repeating here. We know, of course, many of you have friends, family members, loved ones who are working at the Monte Carlo, perhaps even relatives in town who are staying on the property. The good news is that there are several fire stations within a very close proximity of this resort. No doubt the fire crews were on the scene within minutes of getting the first calls of flames. These, again, these are live pictures we're bringing to you. Good news is it appears, at least on the left side, although much of now the Monte Carlo sign itself has been eaten up by flames, the black plumes of smoke on the left side of your screen on the top of the roof seem to be subsiding. Unfortunately, now the flames are continuing to spread toward the right.
There are some firefighting efforts that we can see. The only ones that we can see right now is water coming in from the left side of this fire here. If there is a hard to find a positive, but certainly one of the things you can say is how this fire certainly did start at the top of the casino and is spreading to some degree, a small degree, down to some of the lower floors in opposition to previous fires that we've seen that have gone from the bottom up and have been horribly tragic. This tragic fire here that we've got certainly is eating away the middle section right now, the Monte Carlo Hotel and Casino. Now you can get a good shot of the City Center project behind there, all the construction and all the cranes and all the work that has been going on in the behind it. Even behind that, still you have the Bellagio Hotel and Casino. But firefighters are on the roof, and we do see some efforts, a helicopter there just to the right side.
We saw debris falling from the top of the Monte Carlo, so we're not sure if what you're seeing are the plumes of smoke which appear to be coming from the lower floors, if those are flames that actually spread down, or if it's a case of debris that sort of fell and got hooked onto something on the side of the casino itself. Two very different views from the vantage point of our crews on the ground. Casey Smith on one side, on the side on Harmon in the Strip, seeing what didn't appear to be firefighting efforts, but on the side where Kimberly Terry was on the other side. Much equipment, quite a few evacuations going on, and we've now seen crews on the roof itself, one of the most dangerous situations fire crews can ever encounter, having to actually stand on the roof of a structure trying to fight flames that are spreading underneath their very feet.
There's 259 luxury suites all on the top floor that you are seeing being consumed right now at the Monte Carlo Hotel and Casino. Total 3,002 rooms in the Monte Carlo that was built about 12 years ago is when it was finally constructed. As you see, the flames getting more and more intense there on the right side of your screen. But the luxury suites that they've got now are the ones that you can see being consumed by this fire that is continuing to spread. Okay, Casey is live now. We have Casey Smith there. Casey, can you hear us?
Yes, we can, Ron. Okay. I'm just going to get out of the way and have you take a look at this. As you look right now, you can tell that it's starting to spread and it's starting to run along that, I guess you would call it the southeastern tower there. However, a little bit of good news that some of the black smoke is turning to gray. That does seem like they're getting some water, at least in the middle. The problem is, though, as you can see, the fire is kind of moving out towards the end of that tower. And those embers I was telling you about on the phone just a few minutes ago, if you see that small spot of flame down there about 4 or 5 floors from the top, that's a direct result of one of those embers that came down, I'm going to say, about 3 or 4 minutes ago. That's how hot this fire is. It seems to have started spreading there. once again, as you can see, it is moving towards the end of the tower there. They are getting water on it with the gray smoke there. They have doused the flames that were in the center of the building there just a few minutes ago. The fire seems to be making a run there, and just about the time it looks like they may get it under control, it seems to flare up, catching more fuel. And you can see there embers starting to come down from that smaller spot, causing a little bit more fire. That's the latest we have right now. We'll get back to you in just a few minutes. Ron?
Casey, stay with us. From what you can see, from what we're seeing here in the studio, it appears that the crews are not only on the roof, but perhaps on the actual floor itself where this fire is burning. Can you tell?
Rikki, I'm having a hard time hearing you because of all the choppers, both television choppers and emergency choppers going ahead. But I believe you said something about getting on the roof to it, and from this vantage point, I cannot see that at all.
All right.
Okay, Casey, where exactly are you? It looks to me like you are to the southeast of the Monte Carlo. Is that correct? Are you?
A little southwest, Ron. A little southwest, Hacienda and Dean Martin area.
Oh, okay. Okay, there's New York on the right side. Okay. Yeah, so that gives us a perspective of where this is. Okay.
From your vantage point, Casey, what is the traffic situation?
Well, we're kind of perched up in an industrial area, so from our standpoint, I can't tell the traffic on the Strip or I-15. I suspect it's probably slowing down because just getting over here on Valley View, we had a problem because people are stopping to look, and as you can see, the flames are starting to climb up into that other part and getting into the rooms there. I can't give you a read on the traffic, Rikki.
All right. Though, thank you, Casey. Well,
okay.
As we've been noting, talking to Kimberly Terry, who's on the other side, Las Vegas Boulevard between New York, and the Bellagio is closed. So pretty much, folks, the Las Vegas Strip from Tropicana, probably past Tropicana, more toward Russell, I would assume, just count on Russell, Las Vegas Boulevard between Russell and Flamingo being shut down. If you're on your way to some other property, you need to get to work, you probably should take another, maybe the 215 to get around and come back in if you're coming to the Las Vegas Strip. Just make it easy on yourself. And also, folks, please, if you are at home, stay at home. Do not get on the freeway and stop because we understand from Casey, a lot of looky-loos, people are stopping. This is not something that we need to take a look at. We'll have all the information for you here on Action News. Make sure that enough space is left so that firefighting and emergency crews can get to the scene.
Okay, Tanya Reyes now is close by. Tanya, where exactly are you and what are you seeing right now?
All right, we can't hear Tanya, but if we can go back and at least take her picture, can we take her picture from her photographer? Because that is a very close vantage point from the ground that we haven't seen so far. The news here, again, these flames are now spreading to the right. It seems that the fire crews have got a pretty good hand on the left side of the Monte Carlo, the resort that we're looking at as you face actually north. The part of the casino that faces the top of the resort that faces going west. They seem to have that part under control, still battling those flames going toward the east of the roof.
Yeah, and this is the side closest to New York that you're seeing there that's up in flames. Part of the fire, as you can see, where it started right in that area, is what it looked like to us when we first started on this story a little over an hour ago, and it looked like right in the middle. We now have Tanya Reyes, contact with her. Hello, Tanya, where are you at exactly? What are you seeing?
Right out there.
You're at.
All right, we're here with the witness that actually saw some of this happen. Now, tell me exactly where you were at when you saw the fire.
Right across here by that yellow machine.
And what exactly did you see?
Just flames, and then it just starts spreading out like that. That's it.
Where did it look like it start from in the part of the building?
Right in that elevator shaft, right in the middle, in the center there.
What'd you think?
I don't know. I was working, so I just. Well, it take an awful while to get firefighters over there too.
Yeah. About how long did it take for people to come out here?
Oh, at least 20, 30 minutes or something. It just now started spraying water over there on that side.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And we're here for a little bit, and actually the fire is coming down a little bit. So reporting live from Frank Sinatra Drive, Tanya Reyes, Channel 13 Action News.
Tanya, before we let you get away, folks, can we go back to Tanya's photographer and actually take a look at her picture, get a ground-up vantage point of the firefighting efforts on this fire?
Okay, that's it from Tanya. You see the fire continuing to spread now. Okay, there's some of the people now watching the flames there. Kimberly Terry earlier talked to people that had been evacuated from that property there, the Monte Carlo Hotel and Casino, about 12 years old. is all, and it's 3,000 rooms, a little over 3,000 rooms, a luxury suite.